I'm Bianca.
And I'm Grant.
And this is the Lake House Project.
Hey everyone, on this week's episode of the Lake House Project, we will be cutting and framing out the hole for the new staircase. The first step was snapping a chalk line for the right edge of that hole, and then we used the circular saw to cut along that line and then start pulling up those boards. This process was quite messy, so Bianca came behind me with a vacuum to suck up as much dust as we could as we made the cut. So here's where we are now. It's crazy to think that there will be a staircase here in just a couple weeks. Okay, so now that we have the floor raised kind of behind and underneath the camera, we're now moving on to framing out the hole for the staircase that goes down to the first floor. And this is the exact hole to the exact dimensions. However, obviously we need to move these two joists. And so those will be pushed to the side. We're going to be putting a double header on both these sides and then a double header across, connecting those here. However, as you might have seen, there's an HVAC vent directly underneath where I'm standing. And so it's going to be a little bit tricky to kind of slide these beams in from the basement or from upstairs. It's going to be really tricky. So a much easier plan is to cut out this remaining subfloor where I'm standing or sitting all the way to this wall, so this whole corner will be taken out, and then that way we can put our new beams in, or joists, from above and kind of lower them in and drop them in. It'll be a lot easier. It's a little bit more work on the front end, but installing the beams will take a lot less time and a lot less stress and headache. So we're gonna go ahead and do that first, cut this out, kind of assess the situation, and then start framing out this hole. Let's do it. And if you can't get enough of this DIY content, we also have a TikTok and Instagram at Golden Key Design for more real-time updates. Now back to the video. After taking out that last section of subfloor, it was finally time to address these two big floor joists in the middle of our hole. We did that by first cutting off the right edge with the circular saw and then using a rope to kind of hold it as we cut off the other edge. And these aren't the exact measurements that we need, but we just kind of got it close and just took out a main chunk of it for now.
Wow.
The hole. We then took out the remaining section of those two floor joists that were attached to the header. We had to go around some electrical lines, but we eventually got both of them out. I then had to cut away some nails that were protruding through the subfloor into the ceiling of the basement. It was then finally time to start assembling our two double headers that will flank either side of the hole. We did this first by buying some 2x10s, cutting them down to size, and then using some liquid nails to glue them together first, and then using some clamps to screw in some screws to fully lock it in. But we quickly realized that these were not 2x10s, these were 2x8s. So after planing them down to the right size, we went to put it into position and realized it was the wrong board. So here I am cutting the actual 2x10, and we did end up using those 2x8s on another project, so there was no waste. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, I really appreciate it if you could give it a like, as it definitely helps the YouTube algorithm and allows me to reach a bigger audience. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. We have new DIY videos every single Saturday, and you'll be able to stay up to date on our progress on this lake house. We got lots more content coming your way, so stay tuned. And if you're interested in any of the tools that I'm using, I have all the Amazon links down in the description, including this planer, which came in real handy for this project. We then decided to take out this third floor joist as it was slightly in the way of our new double header that will be going in.
The planer allowed us to take off a little bit of the height of the board toward the end so it was easier to slide into position.
Here we go. Okay, so as you just saw, we were able to put in this side of the double header. However, it's not fully screwed in. It's just resting on the top plate over here, and then we have a board holding up that end. And the reason we're not going to fully install it is because this might need to move left or right depending on where this board on the right-hand side gets placed, because that one's kind of fixed in position, but this one, if we need to move it, we can move it right and left. So we're gonna wait to permanently install it. And now we just have to avoid this water drain, and the white pipe is a drain, and then it's hard to see, but there's a water spigot as well sticking up. And unfortunately, we're just gonna have to go around those, so we're gonna have to shave out a little bit of the 2x10 board so that it can kind of go around those, because those are slightly in the way, but not much, maybe a total of 1/4 to 1/2 inch into the board. And we wrote down all of our measurements here, so now we're just gonna take the 2x10, cut it out, and then put it in position just like we did this one. And yeah, so let's get to it.
Here I am using that planer again to make the height of the board just a little bit smaller on the end so it's a bit easier to slide into position. And then I started marking out where those drain and water pipes are so I can start cutting away some of that material. After finishing those cuts, we were able to give it a test fit, and the rope came in real handy here to lower it into position. However, we quickly realized that there was a bit of a problem. There was a large electrical line in the way, so we had to cut away just a little bit of the underside of the board to fit it properly. After finishing that cut with the jigsaw, it was time for round 2 of the test fit, and again the rope came in real handy, and we were able to get it into position properly on that top plate on my side. And then we were able to use the sledgehammer to kind of knock it into position, as it kind of required a lot of force.
Yep.
But after many attempts with the sledgehammer, we just could not get it to go any further. We were hitting it pretty hard and at some point starting to dent the wood. So we decided to use an oscillating tool to knock off a little edge of the board so it could slide into position.
I know the problem. It was because this is slightly beyond the edge. Okay.
And now that we had it lowered into position, we had to hit it sideways so it could slide underneath the subfloor and support that studded wall you see in the middle of the screen. However, the 2x10 was just a little too thick, so unfortunately we had to pull it all the way back out and plane down about a 1/16 of an inch off the top in order to get it to fit properly. It was then time for round 3 of the test fit, hopefully the third time's a charm. But as we were lowering this in, my dad lost a little bit control on his end and the board fell. I had to mute this because there was some explicitives used, but the electrical cords actually caught it and luckily nothing went wrong. And so everything was all good, but as with any construction project, there's always a little bit of drama. With the height of the board now being a little bit shorter, we were able to knock it into position underneath that subfloor with the sledgehammer. It was a little bit tricky, but eventually we got it.
Okay, I'm just here to support
Just
my...
take the pressure off.
It's all on you though, man. Eventually.
We were then able to fully seat the header by using a board from the underside to push it into position. I then screwed it in from above just to hold it into position while we got the joist hanger installed. With the joist hangers now installed, both sides were fully complete, and now we could install the double header on the far end of the staircase hole. This is the same process as we used before, just a little bit smaller. We cut down those 2 original floor joists to their final dimensions, and then we're able to lower in the new double header. The last step was to add joist hangers to those old floor joists to the new double header, and this locked everything nicely into position and made everything nice and strong.
I should be able to.
After passing the pull-up test, the staircase hole was complete. It's cut to all of its final dimensions and fully framed out. I've never done this type of structural framing before. It was a pretty big challenge, but I'm really glad I did it, as I now have a lot of confidence on future projects. And we're not done with the stairs just yet. Next week on the Lake House project, we'll be building the second floor platform. This is another structural challenge, but I think we now have the know-how to do it. Stay tuned next week. And as always, thanks for watching and happy building. See you next week.